CPAC 2022 is kicking off for its 49th year. This year's Conservative Political Action Conference in Orlando, Florida, featuring a slate of major Republican voices, none more anticipated than the former president himself. Trump set to headline and sure to make headlines at the conference this weekend. And CBN News Chief Political Analyst David Brody is at CPAC, and he joins us now. David, I'd like to start just by getting your thoughts on the former president's comments, going as far as calling Putin a genius and then once again calling the 2020 election rigged.
Yeah, I mean, Jenna, look, this is what we've come to expect from Donald Trump, and he always upsets the apple cart. He always does something that you wouldn't traditionally do. And once again, here he is basically calling Putin a genius. But here's the truth of the matter. I don't know about Putin being a genius, but the United States has given him leverage to look like a genius. And I think that's kind of like the overall point. In other words, this idea that we were having net exports of oil and gas when Donald Trump was president, and now we are not, gives Putin the leverage to do what he's doing now into Ukraine. So, there is an element of truth to it, but of course, Trump always puts it the way Trump always puts it.
It is interesting, a matter of perspective. You have some people like Trump and others saying that he's a genius. Former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo said he's savvy, and then you have others questioning his mental stability. David, on CPAC, several notable Republicans are missing from this year's CPAC, namely former Vice President Mike Pence and former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley. Meanwhile, disgraced former Missouri Governor Eric Greitens is slated to appear. David, how much does the lineup reflect the changing face of the Republican Party?
Yeah, it's everything. And it's not just the panels, but as you said, John, the speakers on stage. I mean, this is not CPAC, it's Trump-PAC. That's pretty much what this is. And as you mentioned, Mike Pence not on stage, Nikki Haley not on stage, Mitch McConnell, this just in, so to speak. I'm just kidding around, but he's not getting invited. Lindsey Graham is not getting invited. And, I've covered CPAC, I don't know, since Reconstruction, or at least my body is telling me it feels like Reconstruction. And I must tell you that Mitch McConnell and Lindsey Graham and all these were staples for years and years here at CPAC, and they were applauded in a very nice way here at CPAC, but they're not even making the stage. So everything has changed, and Donald Trump has no doubt changed everything. We'll see what those straw poll results look like on Saturday night. That'll be interesting to watch. We obviously know Donald Trump's going to win the straw poll, but we'll see how Ron DeSantis does, because he's probably going to come in second.
Yeah, that is always interesting to see. David, a head scratcher is presidential candidate Tulsi Gabbard, Democratic Congresswoman, Tulsi Gabbard. She's there at CPAC scheduled to speak. Why her? Why would they invite her and maybe not some of these other more establishment Republicans?
Well, a couple of things are going on. Number one, many in the conservative movement believe that Tulsi Gabbard has had her red pill moment, or many red pill moments. In other words, kind of coming out of the dark and coming to the bright side. And I think that's a big part of it. She's been very critical of the Biden administration, so they like that. I think it's going to be very interesting to see what the applause will be, or lack thereof, from the CPAC crowd, because she is going to, in essence, say that, look, what Putin is doing, is not necessarily that big of a deal. And what I mean by that is that she's going more down the appeasement route with Vladimir Putin. That is not a traditional Republican policy position or a position overall. So that is going to be interesting to watch. So I'm not even watching so much what Tulsi Gabbard says as much as what the audience reaction to Tulsi Gabbard will be.
David, we only have about 30 seconds left, so can you tell us a little bit about the mood that you're seeing there in Orlando?
Very joyful, very festive, a lot of smiles. There's a sense of anticipation here that there's going to be a red wave coming in 2022. I know we've talked about it on the air, but there's open talk here about the best times are ahead for the Republican Party. That's been the sense since I've been here.
All right, David Brody, live for us in Orlando, Florida at CPAC. Good to have you on this evening, David. Thank you.
Thanks, David.